Shalom to you. In this video, we are going to go over circles, review circles for the chapter test. And all these in this video are the basic concepts you need to know and more, of course. So looking at circle generally, for example, this circle here, you can see these are inscribed angles. Each one of them is an inscribed angle because it is on the circle. Any inscribed angle on the circle. And the one thing unique about these angles is each one of them is intercepted by the same arc. See the arc here is intercepted by the same arc. So if we so these angles are congruent because intercepted arc or inscribed angle is 1/2 of the intercepted arc. So since this arc intercepts all of them, they are going to be congruent. So for example, if this arc is this angle, measure of this angle is A, then this arc is going to be 2A. Okay. So here we see one application of circles in real life, like making wall clock, and we see that these are broken down into sectors of a circle, part of a circle, like pi. So let's get started with how we started with graphing a circle and writing the center and the radius. So the equation of a circle again is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals radius squared. Again, this is the distance formula from finding the length of a radius, and it came from Pythagorean theorem, if you remember. So that's what, always write it as your outline for writing equation, or from here you can know the center. The center of the circle is going to be your A and B, the point AB. And then XY is going to be any point on the circle. This point on the circle will be your XY. So what we need to write an equation of a circle is just A and B. Or from here we can see the radius. So what we need to do is, first of all, write this equation to look like in this format by completing the square. So we're going to move all x's and y's to one side of the equation. So whenever we move an expression, whenever an expression crosses the equal sign over to the other side, the sign changes. So we want x squared to be positive. We want y squared to be positive. So it's better to move them to the left side to make them positive. So we're going to move x squared. It comes over here and become positive x squared. And then we put them, all the x's together. Now, negative 2x is already negative. It's on the left side. So we keep it as negative 2x. And then plus what we are, a number where we're going to find out. And then y squared is on the right side. We want to move it to the left side. Again, it's going to become positive y squared. And then negative 8y is negative on the right side. We move it to the left side. It becomes positive 8y. And then plus a number we are going to add. All equals. So we're going to move the constant on the other side. We move all the variables on one side. 8 is constant, but it's positive. We're going to move it to the right side. It's going to become negative 8. And then we're going to have plus 2 other numbers we are going to add from this space. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So now we are going to complete the square. So we are going to find 2 numbers we can multiply. I mean take the linear form, half it, and then square it. So 1/2 of negative 2 is negative 1. So it's going to be x minus 1. And then so we square it, we get 1. And then since we added 1 on the left side, we have to add 1 on the right side. Oh, I don't know what I did here. This is negative 8. Okay, so we do the same thing for y. So we have 8, which is the linear. Half of 8 is positive 4. So y plus 4 squared. And then since we square it, 4 times 4 is 16. We added 16 there, so we have to add 16 on the other side. And now we're going to simplify those on the right side. So we have negative 8 plus 1 plus 16, we get 9. And so we see 9 is the x squared, r squared, radius squared. So we see this is in that, we need to write, the default is negative 1, negative though. So we want to write this as y minus negative 4 to help us see that the number here is negative 4. Again, this is the difference between x and a, the difference between y and a and b, the difference between a point on the circle and the center of a circle. The point between a point on the circle and the center of the circle. That's what that means. That's the distance. So whenever it's positive, we have to make sure we change it to the distance, to the difference between them to have the default. And then we see that this number here is negative 4, not positive 4. Okay, and so we have the center. So we have the center. Center is going to be our A, which is 1, and our B, which is negative 4. Then we're asked to find the radius. So since the radius squared is 9, so that's the radius squared is 9. So the radius is going to be the square root of 9, which is 3. So our radius is 3. And now to graph it, to draw the sketch of the graph, we're going to, so again, have the sketch of the equation here, x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals r squared. Okay, and you look at it, what do we need? We need the center, which is AB, and we have it. This is AB, and this will be a point on the circle. We don't have the radius, so we're going to plug everything in to find the radius first. So that's our x, negative 7, minus our a, negative 3. Make sure you put the right number in the right spot. So be careful, it's helpful to label them. So y is 14, minus, sorry. So, b is 7. So squared, r squared. So we can just do the algebra now. So it's negative 7 plus 3. R squared plus 7 squared equals r squared. So we have negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared plus 49 equals r squared. So this is 16 plus 49. So 16 plus 49 is 65. And when we are writing equation, what we need is r squared in our equation, not r. So since we have r squared, we don't need to worry about finding the radius. So we just leave it like that. Now to write our equation, now we have to rewrite that outline equation. So and then substitute what we have. X and y has to be variable. They have to make it general. So now make sure you use the AB as the center, though you can't use XY, you have to use AB. So it's going to be negative 3 for A squared plus y minus b is 7 squared equals, now r squared is 65, so we substitute that. Okay. Now we can go ahead and simplify this a little bit. The negative becomes positive 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 65, and that will be our equation in simplified form. Right, hope you're getting that. Okay, find the circumference. We could be asked to find the diameter, find anything, but we just need to first of all know our destination. What are we looking for? Circumference. How do we find circumference? What's the formula? Okay, circumference is 2 pi radius, or 2 times the diameter. So, but then we are given the area. We have to start from what we are given and then see how we can get to our destination. So write the formula for the area. Area of a circle is pi radius square. And now we see the radius is there. And so we can find the radius from here and then use it, because all we need in our formula is radius. We know what pi is. So substitute for the area, which is 4452.4 equals pi radius square. And now do the algebra just to solve for r squared, or r. So we divide both sides by pi. So I'm going to plug into the calculator. 452.4 divided by pi. We get about 144 approximately. Okay. So we take the square root of 144. Good thing it's a perfect square, so that comes out to 12. So the radius is about 12. So now to find the circumference, that's pi times the radius, which is 12. We are asked to round to the nearest tenth. So we can go ahead and multiply everything. 2 times 12 times pi. And circumference is going to be about 75.39. Since we are rounding to the nearest tenth, it's going to be 75.4 then, and it's in feet. It's one dimension, so there's no square in it.